marriagevantagepoint.com. And remember, you are the MVP in your marriage.
From this moment.
Good afternoon, Omega Radio listeners. Coming to you now, we have none other than Karim and Michelle Hyatt in the studios, your hosts for Marriage in a Minute. So we ask that you go ahead and get settled in and locked in into today's segment as we're getting ready for Marriage in a Minute here today. So go ahead and stay locked in, stay tuned in. Here they are now, the Hyatts with Marriage in a Minute. Over to you.
Over to you.
Over to you. No, you.
Good afternoon, radio listeners, Omega Radio, broadcasting network listeners all over the world, Jamaica, wherever you are today. Here in
You
Florida,
don't even know. So when he says wherever you are, he's got no idea where you are. But I know.
oh Lord. But yes, we're glad to be here in the studio once again talking about this topic on marriage. But my wife, the meteorologist, is going to give you the rundown of the weather.
It's hot, y'all. Run for cover.
Yeah, it is hot. Woo, it's very hot, but it's
No,
nice.
it's hot good. It's so funny. Like, I love the heat. Like, it's never too hot for me because I'm an outdoors person. So
Yeah.
whether it's getting the grill ready, whether it's beach, basketball, whatever.
Fishing.
Just fish. Oh, fishing. Yes.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Just get something going. Just don't stay indoors and do absolutely nothing. So
You know,
But
you know
I'm a-
that you know that the Lord made the outdoors as therapy.
I think so.
I think so because it's natural stuff. You know, it takes your mind off your problems, off your marriage problems.
Listen, y'all, I have a timeout chair in my backyard, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whenever I do anything wrong, I just go sit in my little timeout chair,
yeah.
and I stay as long as I want. So find your peace.
But did you guys get that? Your marriage problems?
Yeah, I didn't say marriage.
Have you guys ever seen a marriage without problems?
I have.
You have?
Not really.
Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're talking about today.
Okay. So today, like every week we just ask the Lord to lay something on our heart. And I don't know if he laid this one, but I kind of got a little bit mad.
He did.
And maybe he did. Okay. So I got a little bit mad and we were talking. Why stay with a bad marriage?
And
right?
notice we didn't say why stay in a bad
Yeah.
marriage. Why
Why
stay
stay
with a
with
bad, marriage? There's a
marriage?
difference.
Yeah.
So today my wife was in the backyard and she pointed out something to me that needs fixing. The fence was
Yeah.
breaking down.
It wasn't breaking.
And
It
she
was
said
about
to
to
me-
fall in the neighbor's yard.
And she suggested something that I could do to fix it, right? So I went inside and get ready to come to the studio. And by the time I went back outside, guess what she did?
I fixed it.
She found a way to fix it.
Yeah.
So when you have a broken fence, do you rip it all out and just let it fall, or do you fix it?
Yeah.
When you have a busted pipe, don't you fix it?
Yeah.
When you have a wayward child, what do you
Try
do?
to fix
Do
it,
you throw
man.
them out to the
You know,
and
throw
just
them out.
all right? So
Yeah, and these are we're just it was so funny as we were preparing. We were just thinking about stuff in your home that really needs to be fixed. You can choose to throw it out, and then that's between you and God, or you can make a choice to fix. But there are some things in our homes right now that we can't throw away the house, right? You can't walk away from your home. So you've got to fix the little things that's broken. And like my husband said, if there's one little piece, I don't know, what would you call that in one whole fence, like one
the
board?
picket.
Ah, gosh,
The
he's
picket.
so smart, I tell you guys. I married a winner. The picket. I'm just the one who's I need an extra
Nah,
picket.
Today I'm
No.
smart. Today,
Yeah,
just
today
today.
is smart. So when you think about it, if you've got a fence and there's one picket, you're not going to throw. And I don't know how many more examples like we need to think about. But, the Bible said faith without works is dead. So
Yeah.
my question to you today, where is your works
In
when
your
it comes to your marriage?
Yeah.
Like, where is your works? If the Lord was to ask you right now, what have you done to fix that picket in that fence? What would your answer be?
Yeah.
How quickly would you be ready to say, Lord, these are the steps that I've taken?
Yeah. And the thing is, there's something called marriage hopping. That's what I call it. So a lot of times, I think the reason why we don't fix the things that's in our marriage. And by the way, before I go into that, we have to put a, what do you call it, a stake in the claim or whatever. I forgot what it.
Ground.
Anyway, what we're trying to say is
Ooh.
there are certain things that and it's biblical, that if it's happening in your marriage, then you have to take other
Correct.
corrective
Correct.
measures.
Yeah, there are
right.
grounds for divorce, but I think what we're talking about, what we were talking about earlier, is now not just Hollywood, but people are getting divorced, and when you ask them, hey, what happened, and oh, we filed for divorce, irreconcilable differences. Do you know that God is the restorer of all things? And if you really choose to put a stake, like my husband say, take a stake, take a stand against the fact that, look, I don't want to get divorced. But the thing about it is, if you want to fix your marriage, you cannot be lazy. You can't be lazy-minded.
Yeah, and remember, marriage was created by the Lord, right? So I guess the point we're making is this. God did not create marriage to be an easy thing. He created marriage to be a worship thing. In other words, you obey him based on what he tells you how to have a marriage, a real marriage, because the world's version of marriage is different from the church's version of marriage. So if you obey what God says, you're going to fix the problems together. And so what we're suggesting today, and that's why the topic is saying, why stay with a bad marriage? So we're not saying get out of it. We're saying, don't give up, but you have a chance to fix what's wrong in the marriage.
Yeah, and
it takes work.
Yeah, it does. It takes work, and so here's this in James 1, I believe, James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those.
Yeah.
And it goes on, but that's where I'll stay. And there's another version as well that says, God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation.
Yeah.
And every marriage will go through that process.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're saying is irreconcilable differences. I'm sorry, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
That is not good enough to say to the Lord, well, we are not going to work. And I know there are people, oh, you don't know who I'm married to. Listen, I was married to my opposition. He was married to his opposition until we decided, you know what?
Yeah.
We're not fighting each other. The battle isn't against us.
Right.
And decided that, look, we know who's behind this. We know what the Lord has planned for us. And it took work. We worked. We did our work.
So why do you think?
And we're doing our work.
Why do you think people are giving up so easily these days in marriage? Because back in the day, couples used to fix the issues and move on and make it better. And but nowadays, it seems like it's the opposite.
You know what? Honestly, I don't believe that couples back in the day fixed their marriage. They just decided that they were going to stay with it bad, which isn't a good thing either.
Okay.
Because I think we all deserve not to be under that kind of pressure. Because looking back now, when I was a kid growing up in Jamaica, I saw marriages that, man, I look back now and some of my friends, their parents, I'm like, gosh, why didn't they just get a divorce or something? Because it was so bad. There was physical abuse and, just horrible things that, to me, that's really not a situation that you want to be into. But when I look back now, a lot of people know, I think the Caribbean idea is we don't go to counseling. We don't fix things. We sweep things under the rug. But, hey, it's a new day. And the thing about it is that we're seeing our children are being raised in that same idea that they shouldn't go to counseling. They don't fix things. You just wait until it blow up like a minefield, like you're in a marriage and you walk in constant minefield. But I don't think, I think it's a new day. Let's fix our issues. Let's walk through our truth where we are in our marriage and come together and do the work. We have to do the work.
And that's part of it. I think that is the challenge, that we don't want to stand up to the work part. So again, the Bible says, and the truth, faith without works is dead, right? And when you talk about faith, it's not just believing, it's also walking it out. Meaning, God gives you commandments. Well, apart from the 10 commandments, there's also other commands. Love your wife like Christ loved the church. Respect and submit to your husband's leadership. These are commands for marriage, but it takes work. So I think if we get the mindset, the vantage point that we're looking from right, then it will make it more, commitment in the marriage. Because when things get hard, when times get hard, we tend to run away as opposed to go into God's word and do what he says, sacrificially, because it takes sacrifice. So what we're suggesting is, and there's a man in one of the classes that we had, he was been married for over 50 years. And the question we posed to him was, what is it that you do to stay married that long? And the fact that they asked that question tells you something. Marriages these days are not lasting anymore. So his answer was, you fix it. And that's the only way you could, because you're going to have trouble, like the Bible says. Trouble will come. Challenges are going to come. Problems are going to come. But do you run away from it, or do you stay and fix it together as a team, as a married couple? Do you apply what God is saying that's going to cause your marriage to grow? Do you stick it out like Michelle and I did so that we could even be here today talking about marriage? If we didn't stick it out, we wouldn't know that God is going to use us this way. So God has a plan and a purpose for each couple that gets married. You may get married and in the beginning you don't see, but if you trust the Lord and if you do your part, so faith and works, if you apply that verse, sacrificially, God is going to bless your marriage. So that's our suggestion from the Bible.
And he's going to turn it around. But if you have to want to, I think when you're lazy in your mind, and I'm not calling anyone lazy, but when something's broken, it's like, you again, we're going back to the things in the house. We were talking as we were coming in, and so many times you see people on the side of the road where they get a flat tire or whatever. The next best option, find a gas station or a whatever, so you can patch that crack in the tire. So do you throw out the entire car, people? Right. I guess that's my question, and that's why I was getting a little bit mad. I'm like, wow, why are people just throwing in the towel? Why do you want to, like my husband say, you want a marriage hopping, thinking that the next person is going to be better than the last? Yeah. No, they're going to come pretty or handsome, and they're going to be bringing their same set of issues.
Yeah, we all have issues. We all have,
do.
Challenges. And when you throw in one towel and you pick up another towel, it's going to get dirty.
It's going to get
You're going to
wet
throw that
and
one
dirty,
in again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is, instead of giving up so easily in your marriage, you can work together to fix it. There are ways you could do that. There are things that you can do.
And I think worse than even giving up is not giving it a chance.
Right.
So that's why we're saying, why stay with a bad marriage when you have opportunities to fix your home, fix your castle, right? Yeah. Fix where you live, fix where you sleep, fix where you eat. Yeah. Why would you be so quick to give God a chance with your marriage and give each other a chance? One of the reasons why people are, back to irreconcilable differences, I think we talked about this before, and man, I would love to go back into this next week about each other's faults and, listen, you're marrying someone who looks good, but they're bringing their problems from when they were 5 years old, 6 years old to the marriage. Yeah. Unhealed hearts is what we're going to talk about next week, and how.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, unhealed hearts. Because if your heart isn't yielded or healed, and when I say yielded to the Lord and healed by Him, you're going to run out of towels. Actually. You're going to run out of towels to throw in.
What just came to my mind is, if you're out there and you're planning to get married, just listen to that. This is what we're talking about, because you're going to face that. There's no marriage out there that's going to be hunky-dory 100%, and you're not going to have issues and challenges. So just know that this is not to scare you away from getting married, because marriage is a great thing. God says it's better for two to walk than one, because if one falls, the other one can pick them up. That's the thought of it. So if you're out there already planning marriage, just know that you're going to have to work at it. And, you're working as a team, not by yourself.
Work.
All right.
Put in the work.
So that's it today. So join us next Saturday. I think we're at the end of our program, right?
We are at the end of our program. We
Join
went
us
over our end.
Actually, yeah, we did. Next Saturday, 3:30 p.m., 2:30 in Jamaica. Wherever you are by the mobile app Omega Radio, you can listen from anywhere to Marriage in a Minute, and check out our website www.marriagevantagepoint.com.
And hey guys, one last thing. Don't wait for telethon to support this radio station.
Yes.
You know, program like
really
these and other programs that come on where, if you guys are out there and you're having issues, whatever, listen, pick up your phone, support this radio station. Just, it's a listener-supported station, and we all come together and do it. We do our part. 24 hours of godly advice, music. Please support Omega. All right. God bless you guys. Have a great week.
All right, Omega Radio listeners, you were just tuned into Marriage in a Minute here today. We do hope that you were blessed by today's program, and that you will make sure to tune in next week Saturday, every Saturday from 3:30 to 3:45 p.m. right here on Omega Radio with your hosts Karim and Michelle Hyatt. And we would like to thank the Hyatts for being a proud sponsor towards this radio ministry. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you tune in next week Saturday at the same time.
From this moment.
Hey, radio listeners, this is Michelle Hyatt.
And this is Karim Hyatt,
host of Marriage in a Minute. Tune in every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. right here on Omega Radio Broadcasting Network for encouraging words on marriage.
And listen, guys.